Just breathing in and out. Ooh, Joshua. Oh, God. No, hold on. I'll get into my thoughts, but let me find a game so we could post it as a video also. We need to find a game first, of course. What? You hungry? What do you want? The refrigerator. What, you didn't want it in there? You should have told me. I'm supposed to just predict the future? You want ants to get on it? Are you crazy? Challenges of having a girlfriend. Alright, found a game. Anyway, let's get into my thoughts on Ahsoka. Finale. Just happened. I don't know where to begin. There was a lot that happened, and a lot of it was good. Some of it I was like, creative differences. But overall, let's just get straight to it. Was the primary objective accomplished with Ron? Yes. He did escape. He wasn't delayed in the galaxy. He didn't lose the Chimera in the process, which that was one of my big concerns. It's like maybe that's how they'll kind of 50-50 him. He'll make it out of the galaxy, but he'll lose the Chimera. So he did it. He didn't even get damaged. That was good. What else happened in the story? I like some of the action. I like the stormtroopers. I like the death troopers they showed. That was kind of awesome. But for those who are into the zombie, what do you call it? The zombie theory, you finally got your payoff. So we were kind of 50-50 on that. We were both right in a way. There were zombies, but they were not zombies to start. At least not most of them anyway. The death trooper. Oh, and are you fucking kidding me, game? We might have cussed too early now, too, and I can't edit that out since it's going to be on the live stream, so, oh, man. Hopefully we lasted more than 40 seconds in that last game. But anyway, it looked like the Death Troopers were already zombies beforehand, so that's something to pay attention to. But the Stormtroopers who stayed behind to fight were not zombies. They stayed from their, the loyalty in their heart, which was nice to see. Then they died, then they got resurrected. I like that. It was compromise. I like compromise. You got to see the loyal troopers. Like, they stayed because of you, Thrawn. They believe in you. So I'm like, all right, that was good. They showed the loyalness, but then they got resurrected. There you go. So that was a good payoff. I didn't mind that. That was fine. It kind of looks like those coffins are probably going to be Thrawn's troopers getting resurrected, which does worry me to a certain extent. But we also do know, I think it's pretty obvious, he's hooking up with Pelion and that. So he'll probably have a nice chunk of, like, core zombie troops. But I don't know. They could also be Night Sisters they're resurrecting. I don't know. Either way, we'll find out next season or wherever the next thing is, next movie, whatever. Not a big deal to me. I'm on board with that part of the story so far. We got to see Mother Talzin's blade, which was interesting. I thought it looked kind of cool. Morgan Elsbeth, that was one of the few predictions we got that was right. We were like, somebody got to die this episode. It'd probably be Morgan. She was kind of the expendable character. Her story arc had kind of been, you could see where it'd be coming to an end, and they gave her a nice send-off. I thought that was I don't think that duel had any business being that good between Ahsoka and Morgan. I already know the problem. People are going to be complaining, how she could fight all those other ones. She can't fight Morgan. Yeah, I get it. Realistically, in Star Wars canon, it does make sense that she should just shit on her, but we also need to have good shows. We don't want to just see where Ahsoka's the best thing ever and just kills everyone. That's a little boring, to be honest. So I didn't mind. It was a nice duel. Morgan looked kind of dope. She looked better with the eyes getting dark. Maybe I'm just into evil chicks. I don't know. That might explain a lot, actually. But I think I just walked past the bad guy. I pulled the trigger. The gun didn't fire, by the way, so... Maybe it was the game freezing, or keeping me from freezing. What else? I'd say my biggest disappointment in this finale wasn't all perfect, but for the most part it was good. Overall thoughts were a thumbs up, but I am really surprised they didn't dive into Balin more in particular. Shin, I kind of just expected her to go back to Thrawn. That didn't happen. I'm a little confused with her particular arc of the story, but whatever. But Balin was the one I was really interested in, and they didn't dive into him at all for like maybe 20 seconds. Which that was a little disappointing, and I felt like with all that they built up to it, should have had a little better payoff in this season. Doesn't mean they would have explained everything, obviously, but I felt like they could have went a little deeper into that. Maybe they would have if they had a longer run time instead of 46 minutes. But even then, with the little we did get, I did think it was interesting because correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't watched anybody react to this or any breakdowns. At the end, we see him standing on a giant statue pointing off to one of those hills, and the statue appeared to be the father. And off to the right was another statue, and then off to the left was another statue. And one of the statues kind of looked like it would be the son, and the other one, the one that what I would presume would be the daughter, didn't have a head. So I'm assuming that was the statues of the father, the son, and the daughter. So I think that kind of seals the deal on it probably not being Abeloth, unless they tie that in, because she is kind of tied into that particular arc of a story anyway, so it could still go down that, but that's really all we got with the Balin scenes. So Balin didn't die, which we kind of started thinking towards the end. I kind of always thought he was gonna die, but after the last episode where they didn't really dive into it, or the previous episode of this where they didn't really dive into Balin, I didn't think there was time to tell his story, and they really didn't tell shit in this one. Unfortunately, for all the Balin fanboys out there, you didn't get much of Balin in the end, which is probably the biggest upset. But now we get to have the conversation of how are they going to go on with Balin. He's clearly not dead. We're going to need to pick up the story because he's an integral part of the character, or an integral character. I can't even talk now. He's an important character. God, that was hard. So we're going to find out something with Balin again. Now, whether they do CGI when they bring him back or they recast him, I kind of hope they recast him, but Star Wars seems to be afraid of recasting people. They should recast the original trilogy also. Get the Luke, Leia, and Han, but, you know, they're all too scared to do that because you fans will start crying, so I think it's time we get to that point, but what else? Ezra made it back to the galaxy, which I was a little nervous when they jumped on board, or when he jumped on board the Star Destroyer. I'm like, oh god, if they actually do something. But no, he just hid and got away, which I think was way more plausible than going and taking out a Star Destroyer on his own. So that made me happy, because I got really nervous when they started boarding. I'm like, oh man, are they going to get some win off Thrawn? At least they didn't. What else happened? Ezra did use a lightsaber, by the way. So that was a small nitpick to the writing, because I didn't think it made sense. It made sense for him to not pick up a lightsaber, but then to immediately make one and then pick it up immediately without warming up kind of negates our previous thoughts on why he didn't use it the previous episode. Because then he should have just picked up the lightsaber and used it that last episode. So they kind of, to me, messed up on the writing there, but it's not a big deal. But small nitpick, but like I said the other day, I would have either shot it where he got the lightsaber at first, we go down that route, or he skips it until next season and now he has time to build it up and train with it again. But we clearly that didn't happen. So we were kind of right on that. We did figure, like, my gut feeling, even though I said I didn't want him to do one, like I wanted him to choose a route for this particular 2 episodes, but we did say we kind of get the vibe he's going to get a lightsaber next episode. So that did happen, but again, not a big deal. Yeah, that's a good thing, Captain Hook. That's a good thing to mention. I noticed that too when Thrawn ordered him to fire on the Night Sister Temple, or whatever you want to call it. They didn't look like that was part of the plan, so that might hint at stuff. They still seem pretty loyal, but he did get them back to Dathomir, and they seemed like they were pretty wet to be back there. They were pretty happy, so. But that might be something to keep an eye on in the future, because even though they've been nothing but loyal to him and helped each other out, and he did ultimately keep his end of the bargain. He did get him back to Dathomir, but that might be enough to plant a seed in their head where we're like, this guy, at the end of the day, he's not going to care about us. He's here for his objective. And the moment we're not part of that objective, he could just get rid of us. So that might have planted the seed in the Night Sisters where they're not going to get along too well in the future. But yeah, there was a hill that Balin was looking at with like a light coming out of it, but that could go into Abeloth still. But yeah, Bendu, it's not Bendu at this point. It would. My guess is it's still the sun or something, but could be wrong. Could be Abeloth, I don't know. She is tied into the father, son, and the daughter, so Could be a combination. We'll have to find out later. Yeah, I wonder what that hill's gonna be. Isn't there something like that with Abeloth? I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on that stuff. What else? Again, this is a small nitpick, so it's not ruining the show for me because they do this in every Star Wars movie or show. The TIE fighters come out, land a nice strafing run on the Ahsoka ship, damage it, but then after that they can't hit it again despite it not moving, which was, again, that's just a small nitpick. It's not. I'm not really complaining. I'm just pointing it out. I wish Star Wars would figure out a way around that shit, but they do it everywhere. Now these guys can't hit anything when it's not moving. Like, that ship should have been absolutely flattened. It's not even moving, but anyway, small nitpick. Not going to ruin the story for me. Just wish they would change it going down the line. Am I upset there's no fleet? Not necessarily. I think pretty early on I kind of started leaning towards it's just Thrawn's Star Destroyer. But again, he will get another fleet with Pelion and them. So that's going to happen. We didn't see that, but most likely that will happen. That's what the writing's pointing to, and they've already set up, basically. So we'll get that whenever the next episode or show is. My main thing that I would say my biggest upset is, and again, it really depends on what Star Wars themselves, what their objective is. Because they said it in the past, they're trying to set up a villain and set it up for people who have not watched the Rebels or Clone Wars or know of Thrawn. Only the live action viewers. So from that standpoint, if that is what their goal was, to set up Thrawn to people who don't know the backstory about him, keep that in mind, to the people who don't know his backstory, I don't think they did a good job setting him up as a villain. He didn't really do much. Yeah, he was smart, he got away, but at the end of the day, all those things we've always been talking about, for the average fan, like, he's not Darth Vader. He didn't do anything. All he did was get away. So they didn't really give him a big moment where he really got to show off his wisdom, which I think is ultimately a mistake if your goal is trying to win over the average Star Wars fan who hasn't known of Thrawn until this show. So if that was their goal, they did not accomplish that objective for me. For us, we know what this means, obviously. For the people who know Thrawn, know the backstory, seen Rebels, we know it's a big deal. But again, they've said themselves they're not just making Star Wars for us. They're making it for everybody. And from a business standpoint, it makes perfect sense. I'm not mad at them for doing that. But if that's your goals, I don't feel you set up your villain properly. Again, that doesn't ruin the show for me, because at the end of the day, I know Thrawn's a badass, and I know what it means if he gets in control of a fleet. So, but to the average person, I don't feel they really set him up as that big of a villain. Like, he didn't really do much. So, just from a personal standpoint, I'm a little sad we didn't get to see any fleet combat or Thrawn destroy a ship when he got back, but it's not the end of the world. That's gonna come at some point. And even then, like I said, I didn't even think if he went back and destroyed the 3 ships that were above whatever the planet was, excuse me, where they originally left from, that really wouldn't be setting them up either. So it's like, at the end of the day, I feel like they didn't set up Thrawn if that was what their goal was to set him up for the average fan. I don't feel they accomplished that goal, which, again, depending on what your objectives are, just like Thrawn in this episode, kind of, or this season, what is your primary objective? Was it setting him up for us, the Star Wars fans who know of him, or was it to also tie it into the regular fans who have no idea? My mom, for example, doesn't know who Thrawn is, only this show. So if they were trying to set it up for those fans, I don't think they did a good enough job, but at the end of the day, that's not going to ruin the show, because they know there's enough Star Wars fans who do know about him, and this dude just loves sitting in a corner and setting up mines, apparently. But so it really doesn't ruin it for me. At the end of the day, we know Thrawn's going to have some moments. My main thing was he needed to get back to the other galaxy, the original galaxy, before the season ended. Don't have him be delayed, and that was my primary objective with this. Do that, because I still think that would leave plenty writing for the next shows to have it be good. Not some slow build to him finally getting a military. So I think that from that standpoint, my primary objective of this show was reached. Especially going forward, like after a few episodes, we were like, oh shit, are they going to have him stay for a month or stay for another season in that galaxy? I'm glad they didn't do that. The writing would have been bad. It didn't make sense. So they dodged my big, or I dodged my big bullet. So that made me happy. But
I got this.
We don't know when Ahsoka season 2. We don't even know what's going to happen. Everybody keeps acting like the movie's next, so. And I don't think you can tell Thrawn's story in one movie, so if anything, it would have to be a trilogy, which I think would be kind of cool, but I'd still rather it be on shows. I still kind of get the vibe we might get another Mando season or a show like that and then have it tie in, help setting them up a little more. You'll run into Thrawn in his fleet or something, but I don't think they've ever officially said what the plan is, which I would be interesting to hear about. Yeah, I wish the lightsaber combat was a little different. I wish they had actually cut some stuff off. I get not every hit's gonna cut people off. That's one thing people keep forgetting. Like, not every hit would cut people in half. You could hit somebody and not go all the way through. So people do need to keep that in mind. It's not like every time you touch someone with a lightsaber, they're gonna get it cut in half. If you hit them with the tip of the lightsaber, it's not gonna just magically go all the way through. But yeah, I did feel like there should have been a little more stuff coming off. At least they did show that one Death Trooper get decapitated. In a Disney way, they didn't want to have it be too gruesome. But yeah, that was one thing I noticed too. Like, no limbs falling off or anything. But that's my take on it, Nico. That's kind of where I would think we're going. Either that or have another Mando season where it would tie into that before they got to the movie. But everybody keeps acting like the movie's next. But I don't know if they've confirmed that. I haven't heard. But again, if it is a movie, I think it's got to be a trilogy, or at least do the movie and it doesn't finish Thrawn's story. It's just part of the story, and then you dive into shows after that will still tell the story. So I'm a little confused. I'm going to be interested to see how they take that story going forward. Is it going to be in shows? Is it going to be in movies? Is it going to be in both? I kind of get the vibe it will be both. I think there'll be shows and movies down the line. But they didn't really go into the New Republic too much. I'm not going to lie though. There was a moment when Ezra returned, before we knew it was Ezra, I was kind of thinking it could be Luke that was coming in. We're like, yo, what's going on with Thrawn? You know, kind of in there. But no, it was just Ezra. And again, I was on Twitter briefly after this, and I saw everybody, like, just so in love with Ezra being back. And I'm like, again, this is personal preference. I really don't give a shit about Ezra. They're like, I am bawling. I'm like, really? Like, was he that great of a character for him and Hera to be meeting up? Like, it was cool. It was a nice moment, but it's not like, wow, some people, they enjoy stuff way more than I do. I need to get on their level of enjoyment because I'm like, all right, man. He's back.
Attention clubs. Command attack here. CC 2801.
I'm not the biggest Sabine fan having force powers, but we knew it was coming, so it doesn't really ruin anything for me. Like, that's how Star Wars always is. You'll get a big moment and then it will work, you know, so the force will work, so it's, whether I like it or not, it doesn't ruin the Star Wars story, unfortunately. Or not unfortunately, but yeah. It's not my biggest thing. We figured it was going to happen. When they said she's turning as a Jedi, it's going to happen at some point. Whether we like it or not, it's going to happen, so. Could be the Mortis, or the gateway to Mortis. That's a good possibility. I mean, it did have the father, the son, and the daughter sitting there pointing at it, but that might be a little too big of a dead giveaway if you're trying to hide it. Have this big ass statue's like, there, literally pointing at the hill with, or the mountain with the light on it. Like, so that's kind of a dead giveaway, bro. Like, yeah, I'm not an Ezra fan. Even Screen Crush, one of the other YouTubers I watch with a lot of like theories and breakdowns on it, he's right there with me. He's like, he can't stand Ezra either. I don't know if I can't stand Ezra, but he's just not my cup of tea. But he has been better in this show than Rebels, so I enjoy his interactions. They cast him perfectly. He's the perfect Ezra, so not that I like Ezra, but you know, credit where credit's due. They casted him right, so we'll see where his story goes now. And now going into next season, I have a feeling like we're gonna Ahsoka and Sabine and Baylan and not Shin's still out there too, which is my biggest surprise out of that particular arc of the story. They're gonna probably run into each other somehow. I don't know how or where that's gonna go. Maybe they're all gonna work together to get. I have no fucking clue, to be honest. That'll be interesting to see where they decide to take that story. Overall, though, that wasn't even close to my favorite episode, though. I still think episode 4 was my favorite. Episode 5 after, then This one, I don't know. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like, oh my god, that was absolutely amazing either. Where the other 2 episodes is like, dude, this is some like 10 out of 10 shit. So. We did see Anakin at the end, but to be honest, I literally did not care. Love Anakin, didn't care. Like, oh no, there's Anakin. Just standing there. Like, go fucking talk to your apprentice, bitch. No, he's just watching. Like, alright, you're just watching. Yeah, see, that if I had to find a thing that I didn't like with Sabine in this episode, besides her grabbing the lightsaber, she literally just showed for the first time she could use the Force, and now she's like, jump, bro, I got you. I'm like, if I'm Ezra, I'm like, you know what, let's find another way. Let's find another, this isn't gonna go well. Even though Jedi don't die from falling, obviously, but that would probably be the scene. If I had to have the biggest nitpick, I didn't particularly like that scene with her having the Force. Like, it was a little quick. You went from you couldn't do shit to now I can literally, no, I can grab you. I'm like, that's a little quick, but again, it doesn't ruin it for me. It's just a small nitpick, but yeah, that would be overall, she is my least favorite thing of this show. I love the show, but Sabine, I really wasn't the biggest fan of what she did. They didn't really even talk about what she did. They just kind of overlooked it. And again, I know Star Wars isn't real life, so again, this is just a small nitpick, but having the mentality they're having now as Jedi is so bad. Oh, well, you just jeopardized the entire galaxy, but this is where we're supposed to be. That mentality is like some religious cult level thinking, where it's just, realistically, you'd be stupid. And if this were real life, which it's not, obviously, Thrawn would shit on him with that type of thinking. Because he's a factualist, and they're just like, oh, well, we lost, well, this is what God wants. Like, that level of thinking would be bad. You know, and the same thing, another nitpick, again, doesn't ruin the show for me, because Star Wars always does this, even the originals. I don't always agree with them. But they had, I don't remember word for word, so take it with a grain of salt here, but how was it? How did it go? Like, Sabine was talking to Ahsoka on top of the ship, and she kind of said, Ahsoka said, my master stuck by me no matter what I did. And I get we have to look deeper into that. We can't take it at face value. I'm not just trying to be a hater, but I'm like, so she could go kill a bunch of younglings, and because that's the route she chose, you would back her. I know that's not what she meant, but I didn't really like that particular line of dialogue, even though I could look deeper and get the meaning she was saying. But it was just like, that particular line of dialogue, that's not what I would teach my student. No matter what you do, I'm going to back you up. That's stupid. You do something stupid, I'm going to tell you do something stupid. That's just dumb. That's like having a kid, and no matter what mistake he makes, you're like, just remember, I always support your moves. Like, no, some of your moves are fucking stupid, dude. You want to jump off the balcony? That's a fucking dumb move, and I'm not going to support you in your endeavor on that. I'm going to slap the shit out of you once I grab you. So, like, that particular dialogue, I wasn't a big fan of. And, again, I know it's Star Wars, it's not realistically, but having that mindset, if this were realistic, that would already tell me I would not be siding with them. I would not be on their side. Which, again, you all know from, you've been watching a while. I wouldn't be a Jedi in this universe. I don't like their way of thinking. It's too stupid. It's too religious. I get that's what they're supposed to be, so. From that standpoint, they're hitting the nail on the head, but yeah, I would not be a Jedi. They're too cult-like. Whereas like, don't worry, the Force will always answer. Sometimes we can't understand the Force. The Force works in mysterious ways. That is like my least favorite way of thinking in real life. I'm like, oh, God's gonna answer any questions, or when we don't understand, God will answer. Like, or God has mysterious ways. That mentality for me is just, it could not be farther from the truth. What's wrong with the mic? Something wrong with the mic? I don't think Palpatine knows of Thrawn yet. I think that's gonna come later. Because again, if Palpatine was the one calling to Balin from there, again, how the fuck do they all know just to meet there? That would be a little weird. So I'm kind of glad we didn't see Palpatine. I guess the door's still open for that, of course, but I don't think it's gonna be Palpatine. But I have a feeling, with how much we've seen with Gideon and Hux talking about cloning, I feel like it's more Hux in them maybe Pelion would know something. I don't know. Maybe that's where the Palpatine angle will come into play. And obviously Thrawn's now coming back, and once he shows he's here, that's where it could tie into that. But again, that's just a theory. We could be wrong. He might not even be involved, but I think they kind of have to do it at some point. Maybe they would shoot in a way where Thrawn didn't even know Palpatine was alive, even though he's working with the faction. I really don't know, but I feel like at some point they're going to tie it in that way. So I feel like they have to, honestly. If Thrawn's going to kind of be the thing that sets up the First Order, even though he's not going to call it the First Order, but he'll be the dude kind of making a military force big enough that can ultimately morph into that down the line. Side note, this is going to be a really long video. We're going to have to get this video from the live stream, so the quality won't be as good, but I can't record a video long enough for these long talks with the Elgato because it freezes, so yeah, bear with me on this episode, people. Yeah, we haven't even gotten to the monetization stuff. I'll wait to do that till after we finish our thoughts on this video. What else? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Jay. I think it's the son. I think seeing the father, son, and the daughter statues, that was always my #1 choice, but it was getting a little confusing with the theories. But yeah, I think that's what's ultimately happening. It's probably the son. Who knows? We could be wrong. And maybe for the Abeloth theorists, or is that even a word, theorist? For the Abeloth theory people, it still might be possible to tie it in, because again, she was with them, so you could still potentially tie that in. I don't know if that will happen, but you know. Yeah, I really wish Ray Stevenson, obviously nobody wants him to have passed, but I would be so excited for that character. I still am. I'm glad his character didn't die to a certain extent. I want to see what's going on. I just wish he would be here to seal the deal, because he's one of my dudes. I liked him for such a long time, and now it's like, oh shit, bro. Why you? No, Kylo's not the son. Kylo's a baby right now. It would make no sense for him to be the son. At least right now. If we're talking about the son calling to Balin, no. It should not be Ezra, or not Ezra. It shouldn't be Kylo. That would be legit fucking stupid. You will hear me, like, crucify Star Wars if that's the route they go down. Maybe down the line, if they really wanted to, it would be a little more feasible. You know, if we're going to look at the new Holy Trinity, or if we want to go by Roman terms, the new triumvirate, it would be Anakin the father, Kylo would be the son, because he's kind of both, and then Ahsoka would be the daughter, but I still don't think that would be the play, but it's more of a possibility. But in terms of the son calling to Balin now, no. Kylo's just a little baby. He don't know shit right now, so. I think somebody said he should be around 5 years old right now. So, like, he really shouldn't be doing much of anything right now. If we see him, he better just be walking around saying some dumb shit. What else? No, I'm forgetting something. The moment I say the video's over, I'm gonna remember shit. I still feel like the way they get back to the original galaxy, like Ahsoka and Sabine and them, is gonna be through the world between worlds. So I feel like that's where this next arc of that story, whether it's a movie or a show, they're ultimately gonna find what they're looking for. We're gonna get like a Mortis type arc with the sun and whatever is out there calling to him, and whatever it is, even if it's not the sun. But I feel like ultimately, we just boil it down to a quick statement. The way they get back to the original galaxy is gonna be through the world between worlds. That'd be my guess. I don't mind them going dead route the way they went. They still showed the troopers as loyal, which was my main thing. But then they died, and now they have some. But I'm a little more worried if they go down that route with all of Thrawn's troopers that they're going to revive in the caskets. I feel like the way they shot the episode, that's what they're implying, that those are going to be Thrawn's troopers getting resurrected. But again, I don't necessarily mind that if he still has large forces from Pelion and Hux and whatever else he gets to come to his cause. But if they only shoot that's the forces he has, that's going to be a ridiculous fucking story. Stupid. So it's going to depend how they shoot it going forward. I don't mind them having those guys as zombies because they're already dead, and they did show they were loyal troops, so these dudes probably died being loyal, let's say. But if they don't have him hook up with Pelion or something, which they've already established it's most likely going to happen, that's where I would call it out, because that would just be ridiculous. Like, Thrawn with the zombie army can't do shit, you know, so. But we'll see going forward. I don't know if Mortis was like a different dimension or what. I've never really been into the Mortis arc. It had some cool moments, but it wasn't. That's where me and Filoni don't see eye to eye with Star Wars. I'd rather we not have gone down the Mortis arc or World Between Worlds arc. That's where I don't really agree with Filoni. But I'm not hating it in live action, but it's just overall in the Star Wars, I'm like, you know. That's where Filoni and I don't agree. Creator differences. Why go to Dathomir? That's part of the Night Sisters plan. That's their home, or not home world now, but that's their like base of operations in that galaxy. So they're going back there to do some shit, I would imagine. Probably with some Night Sister magic. That's where they get a source of their power or something. So they need to go there. And that was most likely part of their agreement when they helped Thrawn. Like, you got to help us get back to Dathomir. So, and realistically, like, I wouldn't see it out of the realm of possibility that Morgan or somebody had contact with Pelion before all this. They haven't said that. Of course, we're just kind of having to interpret it ourselves. So, realistically, I was, even though I saw Dathomir, I was kind of hoping for a quick scene where maybe a little elapsed time had went by and that Pelion or someone had showed up. Like, they had contacted him, like, hey, meet us at Dathomir. You see his little fleet come out of out of the hyperspace and kind of show he had linked up with some Imperial troopers. I think that would have been a good thing. I would have, if I had shot it the way they did, I would have shown him hooking up with one of them and just said that Morgan had contact with them, like, hey, we didn't see it on screen, but she said we're going to be coming back, and when we do, we'll go to Dathomir, so be waiting for a call, you know. Stay by your phone. When Thrawn gets back, he's going to call you and give you the coordinates where to meet up, you know, something like that. And then have him show it where he did meet up with someone, so people don't just think it's going to be zombie soldiers, which, you know. I think we'll see Cal Kestis in live action at some point, but I don't know when, but. You know, Mark, I was kind of, for a split second, I thought it was going to be Maul or Ventress somehow. When they were like, it's time, sisters. I thought it was going to be like summon someone, even if it wasn't Maul or Asajj directly. Like it was just like a space ghost of them, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, some magic. Where it's not really them, but it's just like they resurrected their likeness or summon their likeness. I kind of thought they were going to get one of them to show up and be a badass Force Ghost or Night Sister Force Magic Ghost, but they went down the zombie route. Because I know there's a lot of theories saying they're going to try to make Dathomir and the Night Sister clan. And some are saying they would need good warriors. And again, whether you like it or not, Maul fits, and so does Shin. I don't like that they'd have to, or not Shin, Asajj. I don't like that they have to resurrect them, but that is, whether we like it or not, that is one of the big things they have been showing with the Night Sisters here. They are resurrecting people, so I wouldn't rule it out, but, you know. Yeah, I think we'll at some point, unless she dies in the next Jedi game, I think we'll see Merrin. But she seems to be a good guy Night Sister, so I don't really see her siding with them. That might, you know, and weirdly enough, we're just spitballing, but that might be the way you get Cal Kestis into the story. He's over with Merrin, and she's like, I am sensing something, you know, and she kind of points him in the direction of Dathomir or something, and then like the Night Sisters are back, and that could be how their particular arc comes into play with live action at some point. I don't know if we'll see that in the next Fallen Order game or Jedi Survivor game, whatever the fuck you call it, the Jedi series of games. So I think it's going to be 3 games, and this would be the final one, so that could be where they finish it off, tying them into the story, but I have no idea. I don't think Andor Season 2 is going to tie much into this. Maybe they'll like talk about Thrawn, or they'll show Thrawn early days. That would be the most they would do, but in terms of the main story, I don't think it's going to really do too much for it. I would rather them keep those characters dead. Yeah, I agree. I love Maul. I love Asajj Ventress, but I get tired of them bringing them back to life. Bringing mindless stormtroopers back to life is one thing, but like main characters, again, Maul should have been dead the first time. As much as I enjoy his time since he came back in the Clone Wars and stuff, I don't like them diminishing like how important death is in these things, where everybody's always eligible to come back. And Star Wars has definitely done that, but... And even if they do bring them back, I would rather it not actually be Maul. It would just be like... As dumb as this sound, kind of like a zombie version. It would have the Force powers, but it's not going to be Darth Maul. It's just his likeness, you know? And they would use it that way to try to make like some warriors or something, but like I wouldn't straight up just resurrect Maul and have him be alive again. Or Asajj. But again, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I gotta give Morgan Elsbeth credit. That duel between her and Ahsoka was dope as fuck. I really like that duel. She went out fighting like a G2. I'm like, damn. Got some loyalists there. I didn't think I was gonna like Morgan's character that much. It grew on me. I know the main argument is still, oh, she should have been able to hold her own. But again, I agree. If she's fighting Maul and everyone and having no problems, I don't think Morgan should stop her from that standpoint. But also, we have to be realistic. So you just want Ahsoka to come back and shit on Baylan, shit on everyone she fights? I don't think that's good writing either. There's no building of a character or any of that shit when it comes to this actual show. Like, it would just be, well, Ahsoka's strong, nobody fights her, she's gonna win. It wouldn't make for that interesting of a show. At least from that standpoint. So I'm like, I get it. But yeah, I also could see where you come from, where it's like, Morgan should not be putting up that much of a fight, you know? Either way, I thought it was a pretty cool duel. We have something there. We got Baylan and Shin. There's two new characters right there. Thrawn is basically new. Most people don't even know who he is. Except the real Star Wars fans who have been around a while. But for the live action only people, they never heard of Thrawn until Mando. So that's new to them. So I don't think that's a good argument. In terms of bringing back Maul, yeah, that I could see you using it there. But like in the grand scheme of things, they did some new stuff. They've added Grogu, whether you love it or not. He did really well, and they've added Shin and Baylan. People love Shin and Baylan, so they have added new stuff overall, and people are enjoying it, myself included. I just wish they didn't do Grogu the way they did in the last Book of Boba and Mando Season 3, but overall the character I still like. Alright, I think we'll end this long-ass video here, because it's about to be 40 minutes since the stream started. Let's just end it here real quick, and it's going to be a long video. Where's my pen? I need to write this shit down. Again, this video we're going to post after this. You guys have already heard it for those who have been here, but at least you'll know why the quality's a little bad, because it's such a long video I can't get it from the Elgato. It's already froze. So we have to get it directly from YouTube. Boom. Yeah, but I think he's also still trying to protect the main stuff. So I could see why he sent small stuff, but I get where you're coming from, though. Like, dude, send more ships out? I don't really care about Anakin at the end. That was, like, the least exciting thing in that episode to me. That would have been a bigger moment if they hadn't already showed him in the world between worlds and all this other shit. You know, I'd be like, oh, he's watching. That would have been way more exciting. But just to see him as a Force Ghost now standing there, I'm like, okay, dude. You gonna go talk to her? No, you're just gonna stand there being a creep. All right, better not be jacking off, bitch. Like, that scene, literally, I don't care. Might mean something, you know. Like, hey, he is a Force Ghost. He's watching. We can confirm that. But in terms of significance, it really didn't do anything for me. I'm like, oh, there's Anakin. I'm like, we're not gonna get more Baylan. Like, that was where I'm thinking, like, we should have went down that particular arc a little more. Yeah, but you're watching a podcast of Star Wars fans. Of course, they're gonna know Thrawn. We've been alerted to an elite live action only people aren't watching all this shit on YouTube. It's not them. They turn it on, they see the movie, they see the show, they're done. Of course, people, if you go to a Star Wars podcast, they're gonna know shit. You guys watching this, most of you are gonna know Thrawn because we know Star Wars. That's a little, that's different. There's so many people out there who have no idea who Thrawn is because they only watch the live action stuff. Hey man, I'm gonna be mad about him resurrecting the Roman Empire. Gonna have to teach him some blasters and shit. Teach him this is the Star Destroyer. Like, bro, you can fly? Bro, we're not flying, we're in space. We've like leaped over that. You gotta like get your thinking. We're in with the stars now. Oh, that would be a interesting conversation. Like, wait a minute, you don't need to use swords? You guys have guns? Well, why do they use swords? It would be interesting.
Entering the junkyard, taking control. Starting elimination sweep.
Yeah, you know, weirdly enough, I was kind of, when they did have the Anakin scene, I'm like, is Obi gonna show up? I did kind of get a whiff of that where I'm like, Obi? You gonna pop up too? No? Okay. It'll happen at some point, but that did cross my mind when I was watching, like, just Anakin? This isn't that exciting. You put Obi, it would make the scene a little more exciting. I don't really know why. I guess they were all pretty tight, you know, in the Clone Wars, so it would make sense. They're chilling in Force Ghost life, you know, but I was waiting, like, Kenobi? No? Alright, no Kenobi. We'll see it at some point, but not there. But I really thought that scene was just a little, like, lackluster. Like, really? Again, if they hadn't showed any Anakin to this point, that would have been a good cliffhanger for that part of the story. Like, oh, we're gonna get to catch up. But we already see him in the World Between Worlds, which was most likely actually them, and it was just like, you're just standing there. Alright, man. If anything, if I was gonna reshoot that a little differently, I would have had Ahsoka and them be a little down like they failed, and then have Anakin come and give him a talk. Like, you don't know everything yet, and like, another lesson to teach, you know, something like that. That would have been, for me anyway, a better cliffhanger than just Anakin standing there. Like, I'm an Anakin fanboy, but I'm not gonna just religiously be screaming every time I see him on screen. Oh my god, Hayden Christensen! I was bawling! Oh my god, I'm crying! Those guys on Twitter, you're not gonna hear me doing that over that. I'm like, he didn't really do anything on that particular scene. The World Between Worlds was awesome, but here I was like, alright, dude, like, you just fucking creeping on him? You gonna go talk to him or something? No? Alright, man, he's just standing around, I guess. Probably just stole the shuttle. Wouldn't be the hardest part. He was in the hangar and there wasn't a lot of people. They were on the way. He could have easily had time to jump into a shuttle. That's the least of my worries, isn't it? They let you steal shit in Star Wars like it's nothing. They got garbage-ass security in that universe, apparently. I don't think it's that hard. If they didn't know he got on board, he's already in the hangar. Just jump in a ship and go. Like, by the time they realize what's going on, he could have been gone. So that is like not even a concern of mine, to be completely honest. If you want me to get annoyed at that scene, I would have said, why did he only send two stormtroopers? That didn't make sense. And side note, another nitpick, why the fuck weren't those stormtroopers shooting at some floating ass fucking Aladdin? Like, bro, shoot him. They were just like, whoa, he's gonna make it. Like, yeah, maybe shoot him. Like, that would be one of my biggest nitpicks, is why didn't Thrawn send more troops down to the hangar? But, you know, I get it. You need to write it into the story, even though I didn't really like the way they did it, but that scene anyway. But him stealing a ship? Yeah, assuming they only sent 2 stormtroopers. We know reinforcements are on the way, but he moved the body. Getting on a shuttle would be easy peasy work. Especially in the Star Wars universe, you just walk up. All you gotta do... That's another little funny nitpick in all of Star Wars. Hitting the door controls always does what you want. If the door's closed and you need it open, hit the control panel. Break it with a lightsaber or a blaster. It will open. If the door's open and you need it closed, hit the control panel. It will always do the opposite of what you want. That's one thing Star Wars is so fucking stupid with. And we saw that in that movie, or in that show. Every time, hit the panel, the door closed. Like, you just... But in other scenes where the door's closed, you hit the panel, it opens. It's like, what the fuck is going on, bro? That would probably be one of my least favorite scenes of this whole show. Is like, what the fuck is this, man? But that's just the Star Wars thing in general, where it's like, it doesn't really make sense when you break it down. If anything, I think it would make more sense to pick one route and like, hey, if you hit a control panel when the door is open, security protocols will lock the door down. You know, shut the door in case like something's damaged the ship for trying to seal the compartment. I think that would make more sense, but to break the panel and have the door open doesn't make sense. But that was just a small nitpick, but that's all of Star Wars. It's not the show. Whatever you need the control panel to do, it'll do in the heat of the moment. All you gotta do is shoot it. So if you ever get sucked into the Star Wars universe and the door's locked, just break the panel. You need it closed, break the panel. It always does whatever you need it to do. Yeah, the Death Troopers, they did make those Stormtroopers feel like a challenge. It didn't feel like an easy walk in the park for them. Again, there's no one they could kill because, you know, the main characters most likely weren't going to die, unfortunately, so. But at least they made them look a little more of a threat compared to some of the other ones. Well, I mean, a lot of people speculated on Rogue One. It could just be a theory, but when the door jams and they're trying to open it, they were saying, again, just speculation, that Vader was actually holding the door shut so they couldn't get out. Like, he saw the door closing and he grabbed it with the Force to try to lock him in there. And that's why when he killed the last guy, the door immediately opened, because Vader was in control of the door. But again, that theory sounds cool, but then why didn't Vader just close the door all the way, and then they couldn't have got away, they couldn't have you know, slammed the door on his hand when it was there. That would have been a better scene if he put his hand through and he slammed the door on it, but the thing ultimately got away. That'd be a cool scene to show Vader was in control of the door, but just slipped through his grasp. But again, it's Star Wars, and it really doesn't make sense. As much as I love Rogue One, why didn't he just force grab the fucking thing out of their hand? Problem solved. But, you know, that's every movie and show in here. As much as I like looking at things realistically, you can't do that with Star Wars in a lot of the cases, because it's just, why not just grab the thing out of his hand and what's he gonna do? He can't get it back, so like, why not just do that? You know, if you look at it like that from a lot of different points in Star Wars, it doesn't make sense.
We're tightening our grip on the auction house. We'll have it soon.
Yeah, Disney ain't gonna tear those dudes up. They didn't even show the guy get decapitated because they're so scared. At least they let it roll on the floor. They showed us, they hinted at it. I can compromise, at least do that. But yeah, they shy away from that stuff too much, man. Like, come on, dude.
Auction house secure. The rebels will cluster at the bazaar. Go.
Going in fast. Cover me.
I'll see you later, OB. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna. I personally would want them to recast Baylan as much as I like Ray Stevenson. You guys know I was hyped. If you saw my Twitter, the moment they announced he was in there, I was fucking hyped. I love that dude. But yeah, I would rather them recast. I am not one of those dudes who's like, oh my god, you can never recast Bill. This guy's not like Han Solo. I want him to recast the original trilogy. I want a new Leia. I want well, the Solo we already have. I think the Solo who played him in Solo, Aiden or Alden, however the fuck you call his name, that dude was the perfect young Solo. I would take, or not perfect, nobody's perfect, but I would take him playing young Han again. I want to see a young Leia who will probably be her Carrie Fisher's actual daughter would play her, and I want to see a young Luke. Recast them all. Recast Ray Stevenson, you know, especially in Ray's case, we know why. Like, I mean, really, we know why in everybody's case. Like, dude, realistically, Luke and Han are old now. We can't keep using those actors. Like, we need to tell their story. You guys whine about it yourself, so let us recast them, dude. I really wish Disney would just tell the people who are like, oh my god, you can't recast them, to just be like, you know what? Shut the fuck up, you dumb shits. And we're gonna recast. Like, I wish they'd just tell them that, but you know, obviously they can't. But some of these dudes be whining at too much shit, and then they use CGI. Then those same cunts are whining about the CGI. So it's like, shut the fuck up, just recast them, rip this band-aid off, move forward. Because I still think if they had went down the recast route instead of having 3PO go in and talk in the last episode, it would have been Leia herself had went to the meeting. I think that would have made for a much more impactful scene if they had had Leia go in and have it be her actual Carrie Fisher's daughter playing as her and walk in that powerful moment where she's like, no, this is it, and like takes control of this little council. And I think that would have been such a good introduction for the new recast Leia instead of C-3PO. I think that would have been dope. I mean, fuck, you could have still had 3PO been there. He could have escorted her there, but I think that was a missed opportunity on the show. Just recast Leia and have that be the moment where she comes out. Because what are you going to do? Just every time we know Leia and Luke are important, we're going to just ignore them? We're never going to see Leia. It's always going to be 3PO going to talk in her plate. Like, just shut the fuck up and recast her, dude. Like, come on. Enough of your dumbass opinions. Like, oh my god, no one could ever be Carrie Fisher. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. Disney can't do that though, because that would offend somebody and then they get sued. Oh my god, you offended me and I'm like so hurt. I'm gonna sue you for like $8 million. That's where I'm like, well, let me give you something to actually be hurt by and like send somebody to stab them. That's why I could never be in charge, because I would, my personality doesn't mix well with public service. Let's put it that way. No, I've seen a YouTube video on it, but I haven't actually read the book. Hey man, if they want to start a lesbian commune out there, I'm down. I'm down. That's my favorite way they could go. Let's go.
Let's just speed this up.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying in advance too. Everybody keeps saying we're getting this movie. I agree we are, and I feel like the movie will be called Heir to the Empire. But if they're gonna not have a lot of shows like Ahsoka Season 2, it can't be, this story can't be told in one movie. Even if the movie's 4 hour long, it wouldn't make sense. So if they do go down the movie route, and they're not gonna show a whole lot of it in the shows anymore, Thrawn's story, it needs to be a trilogy. It wouldn't make sense to have one movie for all the people saying like, oh, now we get to see the movie, and that's, the movie's where Thrawn will get defeated. That makes no fucking sense writing-wise. To bring in a character just to make one movie and then throw him away, that's stupid. You guys are being stupid with that opinion. It would have to be a trilogy. Speaking of stupid people, I think there's one in the chat right now. I'll let you guys figure out who I'm talking about. You probably ain't gonna guess, but we are being observed by one of them people.
Commander making trouble. Charges disarmed.
Yeah, Kathleen needs to shut the fuck up if that's what she said, because they should have recast them. Young Han and young Lando, chef's kiss. They did a great job. I don't give a fuck. I like Solo. Not the perfect movie, but I like Solo, and those actors did an amazing job. I'm down. Bring them back. I want to see that same actor playing young Han. If we see a young Lando, bring the same actor. You know? Same with Leia and Luke. Bring them in. Get the actors. Let's get some new actors. Instead of this garbage CGI shit. That still is passable. I'm not one of those like CGI haters. But if I had to choose, recast. See, I think that's a bad idea, Captain Hook. If they don't know what they're doing going forward, you need to just make a plan, and that would be your plan. Don't pivot. Like, oh, we could make a movie. If it doesn't do good, we'll go down here, because now you're fucking up writing. Now you have to rewrite a whole show based off of what previously went wrong. So it's either you have a plan, you make it, and you stick to it. But I wouldn't be doing too much pivoting in that. So if they're gonna go down this route with movies, okay, make a trilogy. If you're gonna have one movie do bad and then you're going to go to a show, at that point I feel like they're fucked. It's not going to be salvageable. If they write a story bad and then start doing rewrites of it, it's just going to go down a path. That's kind of like the sequels. It's just going to, that's a snowball effect. Just find a story, stick with it, have the same guy be writing it all instead of going back and forth between different directors and letting like, well, he'll put his spin on it. Like, no, fuck off. Yeah, Solo's vibe was way better than Book of Boba's vibe. If they had even came close to Solo's vibe in Book of Boba, I would have loved it. But that I don't even know what that vibe was. It was just shit. You know, where Solo, I'm like, I could rewatch that Star Wars movie. It's actually, out of all the Star Wars movies, it's one of the most I could just rewatch now. Where if it was on TV, I'm like, oh, I get to see some actual Star Wars. It's the era I like. I think they got the era vibe right. But it also has some comedy. It's like I can just sit there and watch the movie. I enjoy the actors. I enjoy everything. You know, it's like I could rewatch Solo. It's not something where I hate it. I really, again, we defended it at the time too. I don't need to get into details, but I feel like a lot of people really just were hating on it because the current time the movie was coming out, the climate was Star Wars. And again, I don't feel a lot of people got that Ron Howard, pretty sure it was Ron Howard who directed it, were just trolling Disney in a way. They threw in a lot of jokes there, kind of making fun of what was going on in the real world, and people took it seriously. Same with that droid that was super, what do you call it, feminist or droidicist, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to call it. They took it like it was serious, like they're shoving it down our throat. Like he's literally making fun of all that shit by throwing this in the movie. he was in a way making fun of Disney, but people didn't see it that way. I took it that way the moment I watched it, but obviously not everyone did. And I just think it was the time. People were ready to be complaining about anything, and it wasn't going to go well. But the actors did not have any problem in there. They did such a good job. Even with Beckett, it was another introduction to an awesome character. I thought he was awesome. They had the whole crew that ultimately died, so the good guys died. It wasn't like some never-ending, you know, thing. Like, it was good. I really enjoyed the movie. Maybe not the best writing, but compared to the other shit, the writing was still way better. Like Book of Boba Fett, for example. That shit was god-fucking awful. It's not even an opinion, that's a fact, sadly. Wish it was just an opinion, because at least somebody could say the writing was good and mean it. That's what I want to advance. And if they're trying to set him up for the people who don't know him, I don't think they did a good enough job in this season. He needed to have better moments. People are gonna, again, if you've never heard of Thrawn and you've only watched live action, I don't feel like people are gonna be like, ooh, he's scary. You know, maybe if you're a military dude like me, you can kind of try to start seeing like, okay, he thinks more factually. He's not gonna. He's more of like a military leader. He's not a force user. But again, most people don't think like that. So they're going to compare like, well, the fucking rebels beat Darth Vader and Palpatine. What's this guy? Why is he good? So if that was their goal to set him up for those people, I don't feel like they did a good enough job, honestly. For us who know, we have enough to be excited because we know what's probably to come. But these new people are going to be like, why would they be scared of him? What's so important about him, bro? Did you see that fleet that they took out the Battle of Endor? Like, who cares about Thrawn and his Star Destroyer? You know, they're going to have that mentality. So it's like, I don't feel they really set them up for those people very well. Which I think is one of the biggest failures. Because I feel like they were trying to do that. I know they'll do it going down the line. Thrawn's going to get some badass moments. Especially now since they did let him escape that galaxy. That was my big worry. If they didn't let him escape the galaxy this season, we're in trouble. But they did. So my primary goal of this episode was accomplished. So that's where one of the reasons I'm happy. If they had it end where he's like, all that gets destroyed, and now how do we get back? I'm like, oh fuck, now we gotta stay out here another season with Thrawn. I don't mind doing that with Ahsoka and them. I kind of figured that would happen with Balin and shit. They're gonna tell the story that's out there, but Thrawn's story is not meant to be told in that galaxy. It doesn't make any sense for Thrawn's story. So I'm so glad that they actually allowed him to go back. That was my main concern. If they hadn't done that, I would have a completely different opinion on the ending of this show. I'd be like, oh my god, they fucked up Thrawn already. This isn't the way the writing is. It's going to be so slow now. Going forward, it's just not going to be good. Oh my god. Welcome back, Arnold. Oh my god, Sean, you need to change your name to Arnold. I'm back. I appreciate it, good sir, MVP. Side note, we haven't even got into it though, but the demonetization stuff happened last night. After the stream, little after I finished the stream yesterday, or the last stream, I got a bunch of messages from you guys saying that you got emails, or in particular the members got emails that the memberships were canceled or on pause. So I started looking through it, and yeah, the place where it said I was partnered with my company is gone now, so it officially finally went through. I kind of feel like they weren't going to do it, but my email reminded them, because I remember I sent that email, and they did it days late. But the moment they got in the office, they saw the email, and they're like, oh, cancel. I feel like that's what happened, but now we're in a little confusing stage, because of now, it looks like I'm still partnered with, or not partnered with them, but I'm still signed up with Google AdSense. So I didn't need to reapply, but I did need to go into the menus and return on memberships, which I did, so now membership should be operating as normal as far as I can tell. I don't know if you'll have to return on auto renew yourself, or it automatically did that to what your previous settings were, so you guys might want to look for all the members out there. Would appreciate you reporting back. Like, for example, if you had auto renew on, would one of you go look and see, do you still have auto renew on, or do you have to remark it again? So any of you members out there listening, if you had auto renew on, Would you mind double checking it's still on, just so I know? Tell the other guys. I need somebody to report back to me. But it looks like everything view-wise is still monetized. I did have to reset up the monetization settings for the live stream. It asked me a bunch of questions. So I had to reset that up. I haven't uploaded a video since, so I still might have to do that on a video. But it looks like I should still be getting the money for this. I'm not sure when. Because the way I always got paid with my current partnership is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of delayed. So I'm already unpartnered with them, but I'm still going to get 1 to 2 checks for them. At least that's what should happen going forward, because it's kind of, how do you put it? The payments are delayed a bit, so I should still get 2 payments from them. But now with Google AdSense, since I've never used it, they keep talking about a payment threshold, and once my channel earns X amount of money, then they can release the payment to me. Like, for example, I'm just using a random number for example. Let's say the payment threshold is $100. So if you make $99, you're not gonna get the money yet. You need to get to $100. Once you hit the threshold, okay, correct amount received, and then they will send you the money. So you have to get that threshold. But they have not told me or showed me what the threshold is. I should be making enough right now to get it, so that's not really a concern. And even if I don't, eventually we'll build up to it. But they didn't show me what that threshold was. I can't find anywhere. I saw one place where it said $10, but I don't think that's the payment threshold, so I'm a little confused. I don't know how it works exactly. We're going to have to just wait and see. I don't know where they're going to pay out to me, whether it's my bank, whether it's PayPal. I don't know. I'm going to have to go look into that. I didn't get a chance to go over that before I started the stream. But I also wonder, like, I guess they'll pay you out at the end of every month if you've reached your payment threshold, which for our channel we should, no problem, as of now. So I'm guessing at the end of every month I'll get the money, but I'm not entirely sure how it works. So we're learning, but there should be, actually I'm gonna do a test right now. I'm gonna hit play ad, see if it works. Yeah, the ad works, so all that should be building towards my payment threshold, and once we get enough money at the end of the month, we'll then get a check from them, or not a check, but get the payment from them. Auto renews on for you? Okay, that's good. That was one of my big concerns, where I'm like, even if it kept the members on, what if it's switch auto renew off? That would mean we're going to lose a lot of members, because most of them ain't paying attention, I don't think, to it. So that's good news. That's our first bit of good news today. If auto renew is still on, that is fantastic. Thank you for looking. I appreciate it, Mr. Impossible. Yeah, I was surprised it sent out emails to all the members. I was like, oh, they actually did that. Holy shit. You guys, some of you were with the quickness coming in like, hey, I just got an email. What happened? I'm like, oh, okay, dude. Okay, I appreciate it. I see you guys.
Get out.
So I'm not going to say we're out of the woods until I get my first payment from them. And the money's in hand. So, and we won't get that for a while. So that's just we're going to have to just play the waiting game and operate as normal and see how it goes. Because I don't even know how they would technically pay me. I know back in the day when I had to sign up for Google AdSense, I had to choose that, like where I would get paid, even though they're not themselves paying me. It was my partnering ship company at the time, so I don't remember what I set it up as. So we might need to go look, because if I set it up as one of these options I just mentioned, it might actually fuck up the taxes again. So I might need to go switch that quickly and be like, no, don't pay me out there. It's gonna get 2 tax forms again. We need to avoid that. Let's just switch that. So I'll have to do that after this. But so far, it doesn't look like anything too bad happened. The members are still there, as you guys just said. Auto renews on, so I think we dodged a bullet there. It seems like the ad revenue's working, and all would be counting towards me, as far as I can tell. So that's good news. So it's looking like one of the best case scenarios happened. But again, I'm not gonna confirm that until we actually get paid and everything goes smoothly. Like, okay. That would be good. So, and again, I'm not even sure when they would pay, like the end of every month. So if I make the payment threshold for this month, even though it's almost over, would they send me the little I did earn this month then, or would they just wait to send it next month for a full month? I don't know. We're gonna find out together. That's my other interesting thing, that kind of a side note with the previous partnering company. How I told you the payments are delayed. I'm kind of getting the vibe I might not get them, even though I should. But we'll just have to wait and see. Again, it's one of the waiting games. You just gotta wait till the time you're gonna get paid and you see what happens. Well, actually, hold on. No, this is the beginning of October. So yeah, we should probably at the end of October get that payment done. I keep thinking we're in September for whatever reason, even though it's my birthday. My birthday stream should be tomorrow, October 4th. But it's only the 3rd in America, so not yet. Tomorrow will be our birthday stream. It's your birthday too, possible? Well, happy birthday. Day before mine, then. Yeah, technically it's the 4th out here in the Philippines, but I wasn't born on Filipino time, so I'll wait till tomorrow. Yeah, I saw some of you say you were getting ads earlier too, so it looks like out of all the scenarios that could have happened, one of the better ones is happening. It's still a little confusing because they aren't explaining shit. That's one thing I wish YouTube was better at. They are not good at explaining this shit. So you're kind of just gotta like, well, let's just see what happens. But so far, it's a pretty good outcome. Visa. Future food, you like it? Was it good? I'll clean the windows after, huh? We need to mop too before they come over.
What if it's...
Huh? What?
I want to arrange it.
Arrange it? What?
So,
Huh?
I arrange outside. I already arranged it.
You moved this stuff back? Oh. We still need a mop though, no? We have a bucket that works, so it's not broke? We don't have a bucket. Oh my god. We'll figure out a way. I'll just scrub it by hand if I have to. At least the bad spots, not the whole floor. I ain't that fucking... I ain't no Snow White or whatever the fuck that bitch was having to clean the floor by hand.
The resistance dares much
Is
today.
that Ahsoka things going on? I have no
Engages
idea what you're
starting
talking
the
about.
base from above,
Gotta
while
rephrase your question.
infantry march on this hallowed ground. We believe they seek to disable our weapons and free their captive friends. You will stop them, thwart their demolitions teams in the lower turbo laser and the fuel supply,
Just
and
realized
repel
the
this
music's not even
accursed
playing. I thought it was a
invasion.
little quiet. Hello, OTO.
Execution sweep, go!
Oh, God. Red light. Oh, here we go. Again, what? We got 16 days till we get fiber. 16 days. Every time I freeze, it makes the countdown pop in my head. How long? How much longer? Yeah, my aim is so bad compared to what it used to be. No, we've done that before. On the original Battlefront, we did that because that's what YouTubers do. You just invite all your viewers to your party. And we just let random people in. Oh my god. I will never do that again. Not randomly. Fucking dumb shits came through. Some were good, some were not. I'm like, oh my god, I kind of want to stab this guy. He's being such a dumb shit right now. Some of the viewers were awesome, but some of them, the bad apples kind of ruined it for everybody.
Heads down!
Like, dude, some of those viewers were so fucking annoying, man.
Charges army. They'll destroy the turbo laser.
I don't know if they're just socially awkward, so they acted weird, but I'm like, dude, I ain't doing that shit. If I invite viewers, I'm gonna do some screening or do it in a small sample size. It's like, I ain't gonna just be inviting anybody randomly from the chat. That is a nightmare. Yeah, I wouldn't mind magically getting Ahsoka or someone in this game. I think that would be cool, like, you know, like, without even, like, if they're not going to give us everything, like a huge DLC, just randomly, like, we get on and Ahsoka's been added to the game. Not that that would ever happen, but I wouldn't be mad. I'd be like, oh my god, secret update. It's not going to happen, but I mean, hey, would have been nice. Randomly get to play Ahsoka and Balin or something like that. That would be awesome.
That traitor FN2187 has been spotted.
Yeah, the internet, at least from where I'm from, I couldn't even get fiber where I was from. Where now I'm like, everywhere out here has fiber. Even a lot of these huts and shit like that have fiber. I'm like, what? The high-rise we currently live in that's fancy doesn't, unfortunately, which that's my biggest mistake when I moved out here. I didn't confirm. I just assumed it would have it because the huts around it have it. I would imagine the bomb-ass street with high-rise buildings and companies on it would have fiber, but no, we don't, which is weird. But the new place we're moving in at the end of the month has fiber, or will once we get it hooked up, obviously. We'll try it out and hope for the best. Yeah, he passed away, unfortunately. Ray Stevenson, poor guy, man. Love that dude. Titus, pull up! Ooh, slingshot. Like, I'm a little scared of jinxing it. We had some internet problems out here where it's like the numbers weren't bad. They were streamable numbers, but like when we would how do I describe it? Like randomly it would just drop. Like it would just go off and on, internet off and on, off and on. It would turn off for a second, turn back on, but that's enough to stop the stream. But they, what, a couple months ago, 3 months, I don't even know, they came out and fixed something, and now it's does not go out. It is just the numbers you're gonna get. It gives you them, and they're stable and they're consistent, and I love it. Now, if I could do that with strong ass fiber and get consistency like this, oh, I'd be set. I wouldn't even have a fucking care in the world at that point.
This has gone too far. Retake the fuel supply. Neutralize the explosive. Move into shot range. Forward, close, tight. We're losing ground. This battlefield is to their advantage. Fall back to secondary position.
Yeah, I did think of that too. I haven't even seen the Chronicles of Narnia or whatever. Whatever that shit was called, with the Lion, the Witch, the Wardrobe. I got that reference. I'm like, oh shit, I've seen this.
Stand guard at the main gate.
What was it? What do they actually call it? The Jedi, the... I forgot what they said. I think the Jedi, the Witch, and the... what's the other one? I don't remember what they actually called it, but I got the reference. I'm like, oh shit, look at this. I remember like reading, was that in school I read that? I don't know. Not my favorite shit, but I remember hearing that a bunch. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And the Warlord, yeah, there you go. Oh, that's right, there's a Finn, huh? Why have I not exterminated him with extreme prejudice? Let's just go bully him, that's fine. I'm using something OP, he's also OP, so it's fair. It's OP Wars. It's like a steroid pitcher versus a steroid hitter. Bro, I think I already dropped where you can't see, but it's fine. I'll get another one. You know, it's weird. I actually don't pay attention to the titles of the shows. I never pay attention to that shit until somebody tells me after. But that was the one title I caught. I'm like, oh, I know that reference, but I never pay attention. I think the last one I remember paying attention to is in Mando Season 2 when we knew Ahsoka was ultimately going to come in, or a Mando episode was going to be directed where we kind of figured it would be Ahsoka, and it was titled The Jedi. And I was like, oh, that was the last time I remember, like, paying attention to a title. And then randomly here I got this reference. I'm like, oh. Finn, you should have ran inside because I'm about to come down here again now that I got my jetpack, dude. You don't got your overheal now. Which means I'm gonna kill you. But you're a Finn, so it doesn't matter. It's okay. You're gonna use something OP on someone. Might as well be on a Finn. They are deserving people.
Top resistance agent on site. Priority target.
They're both pretty cancerous. The fact that a jet trooper is only 2,000 points, like, that's pretty bad too. At least Finn is a hero. A fucking garbage hero, and then all of a sudden he just holds his fist up and now his whole team can't die. It would be nice to Luke. We don't need to be one of those jet troopers. Just Finns. Keep the game going. It's not a video anyway. That seems like such a dumb idea to fly into somebody like that. It's gonna snap your neck. Yeah, I think that would be one of my... Again, they're both bad. I'm not protecting either one of these characters, but... Jet troopers, they're cheaper, but most people are fucking idiots on this game, so they don't know how to use them. Where if you use Finn, you just activate abilities. Everybody knows activate abilities. So even by accident, you turn into a tough Finn. Especially if you're on like one of those tight, compacted areas. Where a jet trooper, most of these idiots who get on think the grenade launcher is something to use, and it's not. Thing's absolute shit. And they hover, so it negates how he can move, and then they're using a grenade launcher, which sucks. So you get a lot of them getting used by people who have no idea how to even be relevant. Like, they're not even a good character if that's all they do. Hover and fire grenades, like, it's not even close to OP. But it's the ones who do know what they're doing. That's where you can make them a nightmare. But Finn, by accident, he can just overheal an entire team with a complete noob and just make everybody, like, unkillable for a while. You know how many dudes over the course of this game have been like, why don't you use that grenade launcher? It's like, because it is literal shit. Why would I want to use that slow, weak-firing grenade launcher when I have a fully automatic gun that fires explosive shot that goes right through the block? Don't even have to hit someone and it gets splash damage them. With still a lot of damage. It's like, that grenade launcher is garbage. It's not even up for debate, honestly. That thing is not even worth it over the main gun. We shouldn't say that because I might teach one person in here like, oh, that's how we use it. Like, oh. Just kidding. Use the grenade launcher. It's so good. Oh my god, the grenade launcher on the jet trooper is so OP. I hate it. So good. No. I don't have any recordings on Battlefront 1. I don't have many recordings. I can get rid of them the moment they're done. They either get used or they're gone. My god, could you imagine if I kept a stockpile of all the files, all the videos I've uploaded? Oh my god. Fuck that. Once YouTube's gone, all this shit's gone. There ain't no stockpiles of nothing in reserve. Well, it looks like this lobby's not going to fill up, actually. Try again.
Charging! Eat turbo laser!
So nosy, go to sleep, boy. Just watching everything. You hear a movement? What's going
Courtyard
on?
turbo laser is clean.
So crazy. Oh, we're in a game now? Oops.
Courtyard turbo laser set to blow.
Enemy leader taking point. Wind turbo laser charge is neutralized.
Oh, he killed my teammate. Sucks to be you, my friend. Sucks to be me too. No, I haven't watched The Boys.
Courtyard clear of explosives.
Hasn't tempted me in the slightest.
They're gonna blow the west turbo laser.
Dang, he put that shield a millisecond too late.
There's a bomb in the courtyard laser. We don't have long. West turbo laser's about to
And this
blow.
grooves him a bit. Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws.
Detonator in the
They
courtyard.
haven't really said a whole lot though. I don't even know when that's supposed to come out. Have they actually said, like, is it this year? Is it next year? Have they, like, confirmed anything? Anybody know?
Boba Fett is here.
Sooner the better,
There must
man.
be a bounty on all of us.
Side note, for those interested in Starfield, I don't want to really spoil much of the story, but I finally, I finally got it on with Andreja. Now I'm gonna fucking, without spoiling it for those who don't know the story, but it's time for me to go. Let's put it that way for those who know. Got what I want, and I'm like, all right, I'll see you later. I'm being an asshole in the video, man. I only stuck around in that galaxy because I was going down that arc of trying to, you know, get with her. And I was like, mission accomplished, boys. We're leaving now. Set course for the next you know what, and we'll see you guys later.
I can get us back.
That would be pretty cool, actually, if you could do that in real life. Just keep going back and reliving your life, doing it a different way.
Ally on sight.
Oh, we kind of just spoiled it, but anyway. It's been out a while. You should know by now.
Turbo laser explosives offline.
Side note, she kind of annoyed me, though. She wasn't hot. She pissed me off. She would judge me so hard if I did anything remotely bad. And then when she talks about her backstory, I'm like, what, dude? Like, you're judging me, bitch? Like, you should have been there right there with me. What you talking about? Kind of annoyed. I was like, man, you lucky you hot. That's all you got going for you, bitch. Just keep going to sleep in my bed to see what statement she'll say next when we wake up. What's she gonna say this time?
Demolitions team got to the east turbo laser.
Now my next go around, I'm gonna have to play or go for Sarah. I feel like she's the easy one to get though. And Treasure seemed like she's a tough one to get. She's so locked up she didn't want to like open up, literally.
Team to the east turbo.
Sarah seems like she's ready to go. I haven't went down her romance arc, but I feel like she's pretty she wouldn't be too hard, you know.
Turbo laser destroyed. We lost the outer perimeter, but we never expected to hold it. We fought base one time, and we do it again. All that.
Pictures of what I look like? Yeah, we have a bunch of videos with face cams.
Happened to turbo laser control.
Here soon we're gonna start a vlog channel. Actually, we should probably work on that
Once they're through,
soon. Now I said we're gonna wait, and as far as I could tell, we're done with all the monetization stuff, at least until we see the payout. So there's not much else I can do as of now. So it might be the time to start making this new channel here. I'm glad you kind of reminded me. Not that you meant to, but you know how my brain works. I could get one little thing, like hear one thing, and I can go on a whole fucking story. So, I'm like, oh. Well, yeah, on this channel we got a bunch of videos with a face cam. When I was in shape, when I'm fat, and back to being fat, I got both. Like, we'll get a vlog here, channel soon here, I would imagine. I want a Starfield or a Star Wars game like Starfield, just up to. If you're able to combine Starfield and Cyberpunk, I think it would be an absolutely amazing game. Cyberpunk is like so detailed, where Starfield is more detailed than No Man's Sky, but I feel like it could use a little more detailing. Like if they could find a way to combine the two, my goodness. Especially if Star Wars came out with a game like that, where you could do whatever. They accomplished that, dude. I think that would like be like next level of gaming right there if Star Wars was able to pull that off. But sadly, I don't think they really feel like they want to do that for whatever dumb reason. Is Boba still in a tree or did he drop down? He's still flying? I have no idea what we're going to name the vlog channel. It's probably not going to be anything fancy, something simple. Matt's Travels or some boring ass shit. I don't even fucking know. It ain't going to be anything fancy. We got 4 of them at least. I'm still hyped for Outlaws, but yeah, that's my main takeaway, is that there's not going to be much customization, which for an open world Star Wars game that they're trying to spin, I feel like that's going to be its main drawback. And the thing that's going to annoy me more is they're going to keep acting like there's customization, and I don't think there will be. Again, obviously we'll find out when it comes out, but like a game like Starfield, for example, you can do whatever you want. You could literally make whatever character you fucking want. Where there, I just get the vibe, since they want to keep it kind of canon, they're gonna not let us get too many options, which I think is damning. Like Starfield, you can make your character to be whatever you want, and you can make your ship to what it literally. You can open a ship customizer and just start from scratch, build the ship from square one. Like you want to start with this tiny little piece of block, and like Lego, you could build whatever you want. Where in Outlaws, it's going to be you play this character who's going to do this story, who's going to have this ship, because we might want to bring them to canon one day. And I'm like, I feel like that's ultimately what's going to hold Star Wars games back, if they keep trying to keep with canon. I don't mind games being canon, but they need to have some where they're just like, dude, this is kind of loosely based on Star Wars. We'll have some stuff, but it's not canon, but have fun with it. Do what you want. I think that would be awesome. I think they need to come to the realization making a game like that would not be a bad idea.
Imperials inside turbo laser control. We need to hold on to this sector.
I know I sound like a kid, but I'm an old man now. Birthday's tomorrow too. I'm only getting older.
If we don't get laser control back soon, we'll have to cede the position.
I mean, honestly, hey, whether you like it or not, like, go ahead. If I made a Star Wars game, you'd be able to do that. You want to have a Wookiee model? All right, here. How you want the hair color to be? How long? You want to make them, like, just make whatever the fuck you want, dude.
We'll need to hold the entrance.
Within reason, obviously. I wouldn't just have you be able to be like a big red block running around. Like, it wouldn't make sense. But, you know, if you want to play a midget Wookiee, go ahead, bro. I don't give a fuck. It's your story. It's not canon, bro. You just play the game, man. Just give me my fucking money to buy it. That's all I care about. Like, you just have fun, bro. You do you. You want to play a Twi'lek with gigantic fucking titties, bro? That's gonna be that's where we start the game, basically. That if I'm making it, we need Twi'leks. Giant titties. That's the starting point, and from there we'll make a game based off around that. Like, just do whatever. It really annoys me that Star Wars hasn't done that, and like, it's just so sad. Like, literally, just make a game where you can do whatever. Like, come on, dude. Everybody's asking for that, and they don't give it to us. Yeah, beards have magic powers, though. If I shave this beard, oh my goodness, and I'm hideous beyond belief.
Commander Skywalker is here to aid us.
I got the daddy look for right now for those who are into that. Like, I only even gotten like in shape and lost weight because I was at the time I thought I was going to join the Marines or go into the military. That was the only reason I was getting in shape. The moment that wasn't a reality, the weight was like, I'm coming back, Ninja. Like, all right, I like food too much. If I don't have a goal, like it's hard for me to stay in shape. But if you give me a goal, oh, I get in shape instantly. I have like that military mindset. Like once I set my goal to it, like all right, I'm losing this weight, boom, it will be gone overnight. Like I don't dilly-dally. Like I was like, all right, I'm done eating pizza, done eating this, working out every day for X amount of time. But getting to that point is the hard part. I want to get back to that point, but getting there is just, it's not working so far. I kind of feel like I'm going to have a heart attack, and the doctor's like, you're either going to die or going to get in shape, and that might be the moment where, all right, I'll get in shape, and I'll be able to get in shape quick. But that first step is the hardest one, and I don't have any reason right now. I know I should be smart and like get in shape before you have the problem. Yeah, but I'm not smart, so even though I know that, I still ain't gonna do it. That's probably what'll be that happens, and I just gotta hope I don't die when it does happen. Like have a stroke, have a heart attack, something like that. Mods are coming to console for Starfield. Hopefully will open the doors to other games also, but that's one of the reasons I'm so excited, because I know that game is going to have some amazing Star Wars mods once they have the time to finish them. And I can't wait to play them. I'll be there for those mods. Like, in a way, as bad as it sounds, I'm more excited for Starfield mods of Star Wars than I am Outlaws. Which is kind of weird and sad at the same time. Kind of tells you the state of Star Wars gaming right now, where you're more excited for modders to make a game than you are the actual people making a game.
We've received the all clear.
Yeah, that don't work for me. I'm either full in shape, full not in shape. There's just not much to do. I wish I wasn't like that, but I could feel I'm pushing myself towards it, but I've been saying that for a while now. With how much ramen I eat right now, just because it's super cheap, like we ain't getting in shape, bro. I don't even eat that much out here compared to what I used to eat, and yet I feel like I've gained weight. Actually, it's like it's just I'm not eating healthy and I'm not doing anything. It interests me. I think Outlaws will be good, but it's not going to be that big open world game everybody's acting like it's going to be. And it's only going to annoy me more if they keep acting like, no, we're going to have massive customization. And then you get it and you're like changing colors of your shirt and you're still only like changing her. You're not able to customize. When I say that, I mean you can play whatever you want. That's what the game kind of annoyed me with their backlash. They kind of went down the sequel route with how they responded to the comments of we can only play her, and all they heard was her, and they're like, you don't want to play a female character? I'm like, no. I want customization. You should be able to play whatever you want to play. That's what I want. It's not that I'm mad I can play a female. I'm just mad that I can only play her. Let me choose what I want to play, dude. I don't give a fuck. Bro, you can be whatever you want to be. That's what I want to do. I don't want to, give us options. But they don't. They're like, you don't want to play a female character? Like, no, I don't want to be locked into a male or female. I made that same argument with Cal Custis, where I'm like, his story is a little different because it's a smaller single-player focused game, but There's no customization. Let me do whatever I want, you know? But they immediately decided, oh, we're going to play that safe route. Well, you just don't like women. And then they spin it because you know you're going to get those cocksucking fans who can't think. And they're going to come in, you guys are just sexist. And they play into that argument. And that annoys the shit out of me. I'm like, don't do that. Like, come on. You understand what I'm saying. Let me just play whatever I want, dude. Want a male character? Want a fucking pancake character? Want a female character? Want a Wookiee? That's the type of customization I'm talking about in a Star Wars game. Not, oh, I can change her poncho. Or I can change this. Like, it's like, let me just customize, bro. That's what I want. Yeah, the customization in Fallen Order was just laughable. Different color ponchos, that's it. Changing the color of the ship was just garbage. A little better in the next one, but it's like, I don't know. Hopefully we're wrong. Hopefully they'll throw us a curveball and it will actually be a game where you can do whatever, but I get the vibe it's not. But I really hope I'm wrong. Okay, don't know what just happened there. We're going to pretend that didn't happen. We're going to go about our business. Like, why not have Fallen Order be your canon game? Keep that canon and the characters canon, because we'll probably see them on live action, but then make a game too where you can do whatever. Don't have it be canon, just based off the Star Wars universe. You know, I think that would be better than, at least if they put me in charge of a Star Wars game, that's the route I would go down. At least for a single player game. Like, alright, we're going to have an awesome story thrown in here, but you can kind of go whatever route you want. You want to be in the Rebels, you want to be in the Empire, you want to be a pirate, you want to be a bounty hunter or a smuggler. Just do what you want to do, bro. Like Starfield, for instance. Maybe have an overarching story, kind of like Starfield, where there's like the main core, but have plenty of actual big stuff to do with like the factions. I think that would be awesome, but Star Wars does not see the same way. And why the fuck do I smell Play-Doh? I know that's a random thing to fucking say with the conversation we're having, but I smell Play-Doh right now. Why do I smell Play-Doh? Making me hungry. My kids' memories coming back like, man, that Play-Doh be smelling good, bro. The taste is nasty as fuck, but the smell,
Transport shield tracking. We'll blow that thing soon.
No, we can't change his hair color. That will offend the gingers. I don't want to offend anybody. And you know the sad part is we're going to make that argument when Outlaws comes out. Like, ah, man, you know, this character's cool, but I wish they had went down the customized route so I could play anybody. And you're gonna hear more of that whole that argument, like sexism argument, like you just don't like female characters. I'm like, dude, did you not see my Cyberpunk playthrough? I was running around a female because I wanted to look at a female character. Because I would much rather look at a female character, you know? For obvious reasons. Come on now. Oops, her clothes came up. That's why guys play as female characters a lot of the time. That argument doesn't even make sense, but they spin it that way because it makes them sound good, but like, come on, bro. You know what we mean. Just let us play whatever the fuck we want, dude. That's all I'm asking, bro.
Ah, blast. Enemy crossing the first waypoint. New positions. Taking Vanguard, follow me!
I can't think of a good ginger out there, so I don't know. My UK people back me up. I know they hate gingers in the UK.
I got point.
I watch the Office blokes react, and they're always roasting gingers. I'm like, good man. Good man. My grandma wanted me to be a redhead when I was coming out, so that's why I hate my grandma. Glad she's dead. Fucking bitch. Yeah, fucking goddamn ginger. What kind of bullshit is this? Who's going in and be like, I want you to come out with red hair. What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? What drugs are you on?
Your mistake.
Grandma had some nasty ass fucking taste. I almost made a joke about what they'll let us do at Cal Custis next game, but I'm not gonna do it. They'll go through a change, let's put it that way. I'll let you guys connect the dots, and if anything negative comes from that, that's on your guys' thoughts, not mine. I didn't say that. How's the Philippines treating me? Fantastic. I am loving it down here. Other than the fact that it's incredibly fucking hot the last few days, so I'm having the AC on way more than I want to, but that's, you know. So we're in the Philippines, what do you expect? It's gonna be fucking hot every day, so. Emma Stone, okay, I'll make an exception for Emma Stone. I'll make an exception for her. Bryce Dallas Howard's alright. She alright. Yeah, she alright. Oh, yeah, Karen, I don't know how to say her name. Gillen? Yeah, alright, yeah, I'll make an exception for her. I think you notice a trend. I'm only gonna give exceptions to the females. So, I am definitely biased. You hate women. Bro, I'm literally letting all the women pass in the fucking ginger test, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? If anything, it's the exact opposite, bro. Your birthday's Thursday? My birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday. Everybody's birthday right now. Tomorrow I'll beat the birthday stream. Ron Weasley, he can fucking suck a dick. I don't like Ron Weasley. Fuck off, bitch. Not a Harry Potter fan. Jessica Chastain, yeah, she could pass. She could pass. Find a man who can pass my test. That would be tough. Prince Harry, nah, he can go too. I kind of don't like Prince Harry. I'm not even from the UK, but he kind of annoyed me. Him and his wife, she's hot as fuck though, side note, but leaving the royal tradition and then kind of like whining about it kind of annoys me. Like, dude, I don't even like the royals. I'm not one of those people, but you know that's the way it is, so then what are you bitching about, dude? Like, kind of just shut the fuck up, dude. You know what you were getting into. Don't get into the royal family and then be mad about it, you know? Like, you knew this going forward. What are you bitching about? He could whine about it a little more because he was born into it. Where she chose, I'm like, bitch, you need to shut the fuck up sometimes. You know that? And I'm not even one of them, but it's like, I'm not going to go marry into the royal line and marry whatever fucking royal the UK has that I can marry and then, like, I got to do this. Like, you would know that going in. Like, just shut the fuck up, dude. Side note. Maybe I'll make my UK fans happy with that, but I'm like, this guy's kind of need to shut the fuck up sometime.
Second Vanguard, follow me!
How about General Hux from the sequels? Yeah, he could pass. Straight to fucking hell. That actor did do good in whatever that Revenant movie is. I liked him. I'm pretty sure that was the same guy, but still, he doesn't get a pass. He doesn't make my dick hard.
MTT preparing to fire.
Yeah, she annoys me more than Harry. And again, I'm not even one of those like royalist lovers, but I'm just like a realist. Like, dude, you knew what you were getting into. And if you didn't, that means you didn't do research, which also means you're an idiot. So like, I don't feel any pity for her, to be completely honest. I'm like, you just need to shut the fuck up, dude. You're hot as fuck. That's all you got going for you, honestly. I've seen some of her scenes. I'm like, I see why Harry did it. I can see why he did it. Is that the British version of the Kardashians, the royal family? Got the drama. Oh, I bet she's sucking this one's dick and shit like that. Like, not my cup of tea.
Closing range. Starting kill sweep.
Oh my god, it's the father. Oh wait, no. Looks more like a daughter there with that thing right here. What's going on here? Don't even know his father's name. Bro, how does everybody know what my goddamn birthday is? All these apps already know, but I never put my birthday in correctly. I keep them on their toes. They don't know what birthday it is. Somehow they always find out. They know.
Follow me, fast and hard.
Torment. Okay, you found one. Torment could pass. Torment's cool. He could be the leader of the gingers. He could be the leader. Torment's cool. He could pass. Egret too. She obviously she could pass. Obviously, she gets a pass. Sansa too. She was a redhead in the beginning, but I don't think she's really a redhead though. Are any of them really redheads? I don't even know. Torment is. Yeah.
Now set a trap. The station's your base.
Sansa could pass then, but now she's like, I don't know. I don't like that. What's her name in real life? Her actress, man, screams like she's gonna be like going through drugs and going crazy. I'm not really. Sophie Turner, she's kind of looking like she's going towards the deep end, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pass on you. Even the other one, Macy Williams, man. Maybe it's just I'm not into the fashion choices they got, but I'm like, dude, are you trying to look like a fucking zombie right now with some of your like choices of wear and makeup? Like, maybe I'm just getting old. That's not what I'm into. I'm not keeping up with the trends, but I'm like, dude, what is? I saw an interview with Macy Williams randomly, and I'm like, oh my god, what happened? Like, it's just. And again, I'm a fat, ugly dude. I completely understand. I know what I am, but bro, you're like supposed to look awesome, dude. I thought, but I'm like, maybe it's just not my cup of tea. But I'm like, I'll pass. I don't even know. 32, 33. I don't remember, to be honest. It's around there. Sometimes with Macy Williams' outfit, she looks awesome, and then other times I'm like, what are you going for with this look? Like, you look like a drug addict from Philadelphia who's like weird outfit. I don't even know. And then other times I'm like, oh, there she is. But like, I'm like, Sophie Turner looks like she's going down that route too. Like, I don't know. Sadly, it happens with a lot of kid actors where they I don't know. I don't think they're that bad as some of the other ones, but like some of their looks, I'm like, dude, what happened, dude? Amelia Clark still comes out here looking like a fucking royal family. She's with how well she dresses sometimes. And I'm like, the rest of them kind of coming out scary as fuck. Like, I'm like, I'll pass. I'll pass on those ones, man. I do, but I don't know. There's like the crazy looking ones, and then there's like the crazy acting ones. They look they look a little crazy. If you can combine the two, that scares me. If you're hot and you're crazy, like, all right, this is gonna be fun, but I'm gonna regret it later. But if you're both look scary and act scary, or looks crazy and acts, I can't even say it. If you check both boxes, I'm too scared. I'm not gonna do it. I feel like if I start groping you, well, that groping is like a bad word, you know. But if we start, you know, I feel like I'm gonna get poked by a needle that you left in your body somehow. Don't ask how it worked. Like, I'm gonna pass on that one, dude. You're gonna put your dick in and you're gonna get randomly stabbed. It's like, nope, I'm okay. I'll pass. Maybe I'm just not into style, but I mean, hey, then again, when if you see like fashion models nowadays, I'm like, what is this shit, dude? Like, maybe it's not supposed to be for the average person like me. I'm just a pleb with no money, but I'm like, these are the models that are supposed to be hot? That bitch ugly as fuck. What the fuck are you talking about? She's unique. That doesn't mean you're hot, dude. But dude with the fucking eye in the middle of his nose, that's unique, but I'm not gonna be like, dude, that guy is like so fucking hot. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is that shit, dude? Like, no offense, but it's like, just because you're unique doesn't mean you're fucking hot, dude. This guy has an eye on his knee. Ooh, he's a model. He's so sexy. I'm like, what the fuck is that, dude? Again, I'm a fat, ugly dude. I understand that. I admit what I am. I don't need to try to lie about it, but like, what is going on here?
Enemy leader attacking.
No, see you later, Mark. I'll probably be getting off here soon by the looks of it. I gotta go find out why I'm smelling Play-Doh so strong. Is my nose like just turning into God mode? I have super smell now? Like, why am I smelling Play-Doh? I shouldn't be smelling Play-Doh right now. Dude, I swear, I got a nose like a dog sometimes, that I could fucking smell shit from a mile away. I know what I'm smelling is Play-Doh. There's got to be Play-Doh in the other room.
Darth Maul has arrived. Be careful, brothers.
Is Elizabeth Olsen? I don't think she's a ginger. I thought she was a blonde. But if she is a ginger, she's also on the list if she can pass. That's pretty much it. Are you hot? Is she hot? Okay, she could pass. No, he's not here. So it's not him. We're currently cleaning the fuck out of the house because the agent's coming over after the stream, so we can. There's really not much going on here. Did you do something with Play-Doh? Why do I smell Play-Doh? Huh? That's what that is? That smells like Play-Doh. Apparently it's an air freshener, guys. Update, it's an air freshener, but it smells exactly like Play-Doh. So if you're into air fresheners with Play-Doh smells, I chose it. No, I would have chose this air freshener. I chose what the options were. We didn't get to smell it since it's in a sealed bag, but Play-Doh is not the smell I would go for. It's supposed to smell like cherry. That shit does not smell like cherry. That shit smell like Play-Doh. Oh, it will definitely smell different. Yeah. When I got off the plane in the Philippines, my first reaction was, this place stinks. Like, it did not smell good. I'm like, what? I was expecting something else. Like, it really, that was my first impression. It did not smell good. Now I don't even notice it, but when I first got here, I had a different smell in my mind. I'm like, why do I smell this shit? What is this? I thought we were like on a tropical island. That's not how I expected it to smell. Like, huh? Well, baby, that does not smell anything like California. If you go to California, you're not gonna smell that smell. I swear they just put that shit out there to make it smell like, or to make people buy it like, oh, this smells like California. Literally, California does. It smells like Play-Doh. You want us to smell like a kid's in the room with you? There you go, get this.
Unidentified enemy on the battlefield.
That's a delayed kill. Thailand's not far from the Philippines. A lot of like Americans or just foreigners who live in one of the two countries, they'll just swap back and forth when the visas expire. They're so close. I don't even know what a plane ticket to Thailand would cost me, but it's not expensive. Same with Vietnam. Like you're kind of, this is a good spot if you, for example, wanted to come out here and kind of just live in all the Southeast Asian countries or travel to them. Make a base of operations in the Philippines, and you're like kind of close enough to go to any of them if you really want. Whether go Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, any of those. Korea, Japan, you're like pretty much smack dab in the middle.
Haha! Nicely done, boys. Nicely done. Separatists are falling back and our fleet's arriving in system.
Ooh, there, Knuckles. So yeah, I think we're gonna get off here, and tomorrow will be the birthday stream. Next stream should be the birthday stream. So anyway, bye. See you guys later. Bye. Appreciate it again, Sean. MVP. See you guys later. Bye.